When you go in for a checkup, your doctor almost always looks at two things: your cholesterol and your blood pressure. You've probably heard of good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. But do you really know the difference between the two? And more importantly, how can you keep them in a healthy range? Here's the part most people don't realize. Cholesterol and blood pressure are actually linked. And together they're two of the most important indicators of your heart health. In this video, we'll break it down in simple terms, show you how the two are connected, and give you practical steps to protect your heart. Before we dive into how cholesterol and high blood pressure affect each other, let's quickly go over the cholesterol numbers, based on guidelines from the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute. And let's start with total cholesterol. Anything under 200 milligrams per deciliter is considered healthy. Between 200 and 239 is borderline, and 240 or higher is high. Now LDL, that's the bad cholesterol. Less than 100 is great. From 100 to 129 is still okay. Between 130 and 159 is borderline high, and 160 or above is high. Finally, HDL, that's the good cholesterol. If it's 60 or higher, that's healthy. Between 41 and 59 is acceptable, but if it drops to 40 or lower, that's unhealthy. Here's something important. If your cholesterol is high, it can also affect your blood pressure. In fact, many people with high cholesterol end up dealing with high blood pressure as well. Researchers have found that when high cholesterol and high blood pressure occur together, the risk of heart disease goes up significantly. Even mildly elevated levels of both can speed up damage to your blood vessels and put extra strain on your heart. For example, a study published in the journal Hypertension showed that people with both high blood pressure and elevated lipoprotein, A, a type of bad cholesterol, had a 24% higher risk of cardiovascular disease compared to those with high blood pressure alone. If these conditions aren't managed, they can eventually lead to serious health problems, including heart attacks, strokes, kidney issues, and even vision loss. How can high cholesterol lead to high blood pressure? If you have high cholesterol, you might already be taking medicine or making lifestyle changes to lower it. But it's also really important to keep an eye on your blood pressure. People with high cholesterol often end up with high blood pressure too. So what is high blood pressure? It's when the force of your blood pushing against your blood vessels is too strong, all the time. Think of it like a garden hose. If you're watering small plants, you keep the pressure low so you don't damage them. But imagine the hose is old, stiff, and full of gunk. You have to turn the faucet up higher to get the water through. Your heart works the same way. When your arteries are stiff or narrowed, often because of cholesterol buildup, your heart has to pump harder to get the blood moving. It's like turning the faucet all the way up to push water through that old clogged hose. Your heart is working overtime just to make sure oxygen and nutrients reach all your organs. Let's talk about how cholesterol and high blood pressure affect each other. Your body makes cholesterol in the liver, and it's super important. It helps build cells, produce hormones, and even make vitamin D. Any extra cholesterol usually comes from the foods we eat, like dairy, chicken, and meat. Cholesterol comes in two types: HDL and LDL. When LDL, the bad cholesterol, gets too high, it can start building up in your arteries. This buildup narrows your arteries, making your heart work harder to push blood through, which can raise your blood pressure. Over time, high blood pressure can damage your arteries because they're not made to handle constant high pressure. This damage can cause tiny tears, which cholesterol can stick to, leading to more plaque buildup and even narrower arteries. When high blood pressure and cholesterol work together, they put extra strain on your heart, arteries, and overall health. And can even affect your eyes, kidneys, brain, and other organs. Let's dive into some important research about cholesterol and blood pressure. There's a big study called the INTERMAP study. which stands for the International Study of Macro-Micronutrients and Blood Pressure. According to the Journal of Hypertension, it looked at 4,680 people aged 40 to 59 across Japan, China, the UK, and the US, and found that higher dietary cholesterol was linked to higher blood pressure. The researchers measured everyone's blood pressure 8 times over 4 visits. They also tracked what people ate in detail, looking at 83 nutrients and 18 amino acids, using 4 24-hour food recalls, and even analyzed 2 24-hour urine samples for extra insight. So what did they find? The results showed a clear link between dietary cholesterol and systolic blood pressure, while diastolic pressure didn't really change. For every 131 milligrams increase in cholesterol per 1,000 calories, systolic blood pressure went up about 0.9 millimeters of mercury for everyone and 1.1 millimeters of mercury for people without high blood pressure. Another study published in Hypertension in 2005 followed over 3,100 men who didn't have high blood pressure or heart disease at the start, tracking them for about 14 years. By the end of the study, just over 1,000 of these men had developed high blood pressure. The researchers found that men with the highest total cholesterol were about 23% more likely to develop high blood pressure than those with the lowest levels. Men with the highest levels of bad cholesterol, that is total cholesterol minus the good HDL, were about 39% more likely to develop high blood pressure than men with lower levels. And men with the worst cholesterol balance, that means way more bad cholesterol than good HDL, were about 54% more likely to develop high blood pressure. But men with higher HDL were actually 32% less likely to get it. A similar pattern was seen in women. A study published in JAMA Internal Medicine in 2005 followed healthy women for about 11 years and found that those with higher cholesterol were more likely to develop high blood pressure later on. Overall, these studies show that even healthy adults can have a higher risk of high blood pressure if they have too much bad cholesterol. So how can you lower your cholesterol? Well, it usually takes a mix of eating healthier, making some lifestyle changes, and sometimes taking medication. Cholesterol won't improve on its own. You'll need to adjust your diet. Start by adding more fruits, vegetables, whole grains, fish, and poultry to your meals. At the same time, cut back on saturated fats since they raise cholesterol, and avoid trans fats whenever you can. It also helps to limit red meat, full-fat dairy products, and sugary foods, while keeping alcohol in moderation. And if you smoke, now's the best time to quit. Smoking harms your body in countless ways, and when it comes to cholesterol, it's especially damaging. It lowers your good HDL cholesterol, making it harder for your body to stay protected. Maintaining a healthy weight is another key step. Obesity is closely linked to both high cholesterol and high blood pressure. The encouraging news is that you don't have to hit your ideal weight to notice improvements. Even losing just 10% of your body weight can make a real difference. Focus on eating well and staying active to see steady progress. Moderate, regular exercise helps lower bad cholesterol and supports overall heart health. Brisk walking is an excellent choice, and if you spend a lot of time at a desk, try to get up and move throughout the day. Aim for at least 150 minutes of activity each week, or about 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Finally, remember to keep your blood sugar and blood pressure under control. Following your healthcare provider's guidance will help you stay within healthy ranges and protect your heart. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to Blood Pressure Healthcare for more tips on managing and maintaining healthy blood pressure. Stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next video.